guys, it's Amber. So today I am going to be showing you how I did my makeup in high school. Now, I was in high school roughly 3 years ago now, so it hasn't really been that long for me personally, but still long enough to know that I have progressed a lot since I was in high school. I'm not just talking about like I'm gonna do my makeup as in when I got like okay-ish at makeup in like years 9 to 10. I'm talking about when I thought I was really good at makeup, when realistically I look back at those photos and go, what the heck was I doing? I look absolutely horrible, and that was in around year 8. Year 8, beginning of year 9 was kind of the time where I really thought I know what I was doing, but realistically didn't know what I was doing. But we all have those periods in our life where we think we look great, and we look back at those photos and we're like, you poor soul, what were you thinking? So today I'm going to be replicating that makeup for you, so let's jump right in. Okay, so the first thing I'm not going to be doing is priming, because back then I did not prime at all, when I really should have, because I have quite oily skin, which means I have quite large and open pores. So realistically I should have primed to fill in the pores, but I didn't. So unfortunately today we are not going to prime and my skin is going to suffer. Joy. However, we are first going to start off with, now you think I'm going to say foundation, but I'm not. I'm saying concealer. I used to use concealer before I put my foundation on. Don't know why, but I did. I don't have the exact concealer I used when I did my makeup. This is one of the ones I used later on in the stage, which is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. So I did use this later on doing my makeup, which was around year 9 and 10. This is a really good concealer. The other concealer I used was a good concealer, but it was just completely the wrong shade for my face. It is the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. So I'll pop a photo of that on the screen for you so you can just see what it looks like. I'm sure you all know what it looks like. It has a little orange top on it. I used to use that all the time as my concealer, and it so wasn't my shade. So anyway, we're going to start off with concealer using the Maybelline Age Rewind. What I did was I put the concealer under my eye. Honestly, sometimes I would just cover my whole face in concealer and I really don't understand why. I mean, if I was just going out for like the day and I just wanted like a little bit of coverage on my redness and pimples, I would just wear concealer, which is absolutely fine, but some days I would literally cover my whole face in concealer and then put more foundation on. So I'm just covering up all the blemishes. I'm not going to be covering up scarring, I'm just going to be covering up active blemishes. There are a lot of them today because my skin is having a moment. But you know what? My skin's always having a moment, but it's okay because we have amazing things like makeup to cover it up. Not that I'm insecure about my skin at all. I think my skin is my skin, and if you have a problem with my skin, that's your problem. It's not my problem because I'm happy in who I am, and I really don't care what you think about my skin. So, whatever. This is where my makeup went a bit pear-shaped. I decided that it was a good idea to use a brush like this to blend out my concealer and my foundation. This is not a foundation brush, young Amber. What were you doing? This is a powder brush. So today, I'm going to be using this. What am I doing? So we're going to be using this dreaded brush to try and blend out our concealer. Why did I do this? Like, actually, why did I do this? This is ridiculous. I mean, I have to admit the brush is soft, but it's not meant for this. I guess I was just a rebel and I used brushes for whatever I wanted to. Okay, so now that I have that blended out, there was another huge mistake I made when doing my makeup when I was younger, and that was the color of my foundation. I loved and adored, and still do. I used the Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation. I'll put another picture up so you know what I'm talking about. It's the one with the orange cap, so I used the foundation and the concealer together. I don't think I quite realised how pale I was when I was in high school. So the foundation was extremely orange. So the foundation I'm going to be using today is the Maybelline SuperStay 24-hour makeup. So this is what it looks like. You can already tell that this is not the colour of my skin. This is in the shade Natural Beige. Do I look natural beige? I'm porcelain. When I'm tanned, I'm not even this dark. What was I thinking? I didn't even tan back then either. I just tanned my face with foundation essentially because I was literally that orange. I looked like an Oompa Loompa. Please, no one get offended by that. I literally just looked so orange. It was not a look. It was... This was another one of the foundations that I used when I didn't have my Wake Me Up foundation. So I will be using this one today. And again, we're going to be using our trusty good powder brush to blend it out. Yay. Now, being the smart person I am, I was like, I'm wearing a high neck shirt because there is no way I'm blending this all the way down to my tits. Let's be honest. So I'm just going to start by dotting this on my face. Oh my god, this is so not my colour. And I thought this was a great look. Now I know better. Honestly, I'm cringing so hard right now. I just... Why did I do this to myself? Actually, the better question is, why did no one tell me that I look like this? Why did no one tell me? Powder brush, here we go. Oh my god. Like, this foundation is really good, but not in this shade on me. I don't think it's translating how bad. Oh no, it is. Okay, look at that difference. Oh Jesus. Okay, this is a scary trip down memory lane. I'm not sure I'm enjoying this. I can't. Oh my god, please excuse my hair, it's so fluffy today. Not only would it be the wrong colour, but I'd probably put at least 3 layers on. I'm not joking. At that stage in my life, I thought that I had to cover up my acne because I was like, oh, people are going to judge me. Now, I really don't care what other people think. People are going to judge you, then they have a problem, not you. Right, so my neck doesn't want to blend at all. Alright, so that is the best the blending is going to get because, again, I'm using the wrong brush. So the next thing I really enjoyed doing was using a really dark powder to set my already really wrong toned face. I used to use the Nutrimetics sheer something powder. I can't really remember what it's called, but it was just as dark as this, if not maybe a tiny bit darker. But I also use this one. This is the Covergirl Trublend Minerals Loose Mineral Powder in the shade Translucent. Does that look translucent? No. Again, this isn't me bashing any of these products and saying they're bad. I just did not use the right colours at all for my face. So instead of using this brush to put the powder on, I'd use that brush's best friend, which is even smaller, and use that to put my powder on. I remember this going on a lot darker. I can't even explain to you guys how orange this is in person. Oh, doesn't even look half as bad on camera. Oh gosh. So the next thing I did was I took this Covergirl Clean Glow Blush in the shade 110 Peaches. I don't know if this is picking up on camera or not, but this bit here, like just on the darker section, has gone like all patchy. You know when the product, you can no longer like pick it up and it kind of goes like a weird patchy chalky texture. That's what it's done there. This blush really isn't that great. Like I love you Covergirl, but I just have never loved this that much. I don't know why I used it so much. So this blush wasn't used as a blush. For me, when I was in high school, it was used as a bronzer. So again, I used the trusty little brush, swirled that around. We'll see if we can get any pigment. And then we just used that as a bronzer. Oh Lord. Now that we have our spectacular looking bronzer on, yep. Now the next step generally would be blush. However, the reason I didn't wear blush and the reason I always had such a dark, horrible orange foundation was because I thought I always had to cover up my redness for other people, and I obviously later realized that that's other people's problem and not mine, and I can do whatever I want, and as long as I'm happy, that's all that matters. But I didn't wear blush because it only made my cheeks pinker, and obviously my skin underneath from all scarring was already so red that I didn't want to emphasize the pink. So I'm not going to apply blush because I didn't wear it. And the next thing I didn't do was fill in my eyebrows. I only started filling in my eyebrows at the tail end of year 9 through to year 10. For the sake of this video, I think I'm going to fill in my eyebrows because I feel like I'm going to look very strange without them. I did have a specific way in which I filled in my eyebrows, so I will show you that. So what I did to fill in my eyebrows was I used my Nutrimetics Sculpt Color Define Eyebrow Kit. So it basically just looks like this. But what I did was I actually used these stencils to help me fill in my eyebrows. You've got a whole bunch of different stencils, and I actually used these to fill out my eyebrow. Now the one I remember using the most was probably this one because it looks the most dirty. I think the one I used the most was the Soft Deluxe. I probably botched that, but that's what that looks like. Now you tell me, is that my eyebrow shape? No. So what I did was I went in with, well, I did actually go in with the espresso shade, but there's none of that left. So what I did was I went in with mocha. I went in with that shade. Now I don't really remember if I used a specific brush. I think I might have used the brush that came with this, but I don't know where that is. So I'm just going to use my Eyeshadow by Kryolan Flat Angled Liner Brush, number 19. Put a little bit of powder on. I'm just going to brush through my brows. Not going to lie, I really need to pluck my brows at the moment, but that's an issue for another day. So, oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. What I did was I put, like, let's bear in mind that the beginning of this stencil is literally like tadpole eyebrow. So I was heading totally in the right direction. So what I did was I tried to line this up with my eyebrow. I would then hold that down as best as possible, and I would just start filling it in. So I'd start with the tail end of my brow, and I would just keep going. This is the weirdest thing I've probably ever done. Like, why did I do this? Let's take a moment to RIP brow. Now that we have some questionable brows on, we are going to move on to eyeshadow. So my absolute favorite, without a doubt, eyeshadow that I'd always use over anything else was this Maybelline Big Eyes Eye Studio palette in the shade 01 Luminous Brown. It looks like this. It's really cute and the colors are really nice. Back then I did not know how to blend. Let's just say it didn't look great. These shades also aren't the best because they're all shimmery. So I was creating an eye look every day with all shimmery eyeshadows. Now I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying that it just did not look that great. So what I'm going to do is take the lightest brown first and run that through my crease. I'm just using my Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease Brush to do this. The next thing I did was I took the darker brown and I again ran that through my crease and outer corner. The reason my blending wasn't as good in high school is because I wasn't using brushes like this. I was using very flat brushes. I honestly don't know why people didn't tell me how bad, like, especially my foundation and my brows looked. Like, what were you trying to do? Sabotage me? Especially my family. Like, come on, guys. The next thing I loved to do was obviously take that gorgeous orange color and pack that all over my lid. The next thing I did was take that dark brown underneath my eyes. And the next thing I did was take the middle shimmery shade and put that in my inner corner. The next thing I did was obviously put on mascara. So the mascara I'm just going to be using is the Rimmel Wake Me Up Wonderful Mascara. I honestly don't know why people let me walk out of the house like this. So the next thing I did was highlight. Now this only came in around kind of like the halfway point through year 9, but I am going to highlight because I feel like my face looks so flat. The brush I'm going to use to do that is the Real Techniques Bold Metal Brush in the shade in the number 200, and I'm using my BH Cosmetics Sculpt and Glow palette. And I always took this, oh no, that's not the highlighter, this highlighter right there. Now I do just want to say that I feel like the foundation and the bronzer is just making my texture show up 10 times worse than it would have if I just used my normal foundation color. Right, so the next and final thing we're going to do is apply a lip gloss. The lip gloss I used all the time without a doubt was the NYX Butter Gloss in Tiramisu. However, I have run out of that, which is a bit annoying because it's such a wonderful gloss. It's such a pretty, like, nude color. It's just an amazing gloss to wear in general as well. But I do have this Innoxa full color lip cream in the shade Simply Stunning, which is a very close color to Tiramisu. It might be a tiniest bit darker. What I am going to do just to make it look a bit glossier is use my Masquerade Lip Wheel and just go in with the glossy colour, well, it's not even colour, the glossy white stuff in the middle. This is my finished and completed look. So this is the makeup that I wore pretty much every day unless I decided to change it up a little bit in makeup from years 8 till halfway through year 9. So yeah, let's just give you a like good look at this masterpiece. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed recreating this look, but I also cringed so hard. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. All my social media links will be in the description box below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Bye!